All right, let's talk about creating value. So today, I really want to discuss creating value because I've been getting a lot of different feedback from different people, and they're saying it's a little tough to raise rents. It's a little tough to increase the income, and raising value can be difficult, but it depends on the way you're looking at it. So let's take, for example, you're looking at a 10-unit building and you want to get in there and you want to buy this 10-unit building. The first thing you notice is, okay, all rents are $700. If I get in there, I can raise them to $1,000. Easy to identify the value there, no problem. Those days are kind of long gone. You got to get a little more creative. You got to realize there's a lot more competition now than there was 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. Right? There's a lot more money. There's a lot more investors out there trying to get those deals. As the 10-year bond stays where it is, you're going to have an issue where investors want yield. So a lot of times you're going to have to look at things a little differently. So the easiest way, and I've talked about this before, easiest way to raise value is decreasing expenses. If you get into that same 10-unit building, like the example I alluded to, all you really have to do is find out where you can cut a lot of the cost, a lot of the expenses. Sometimes you can do it very easily, sometimes you can't. I'll give you an example. There was one property I know of specifically where we separated the meters. Yes, that cost a lot of money up front, but in the long run, that really decreases the expenses, right? So the formula stays the same. If you can raise the income $1,000 a month by raising rents or by saving on whatever it is you're saving on, you're going to get the same math, the same NOI at the end of the year, the same cap rate, whatever it is in your town, 5, 6, whatever percent. That stays the same, but it's easier to reduce a lot of the cost. It's much harder to go to someone and say, I'm going to increase your rent. Especially if they're in a lease, you really can't do anything. So what if you're buying a retail property and the guy's got 3 years on there? That's going to be a real tough one. You're going to have to sit tight for a while. But you can easily go in there and make some adjustments a lot of times, whatever it is, whatever contracts are in place, right? Whether it's landscaping or something like that. It just depends on your property. Now, you want to pass as much as you can to your tenants within reason. I'm very careful how I tell everybody to do this. So let's say it's a retail property. It's a small strip center. Much easier to pass expenses, your CAM, whatever it is you have going on, right? You can pass a lot of that on to your tenants. Now, if it's an apartment, it's a little bit tougher. It's a little more different. So let's say you have an 8-unit building, and on your 8-unit property, you want to pass whatever it is. Let's say it's the a lot of the maintenance costs that you're going to have to do, right? Let's say you have pest control, something like that. Now, a lot of the bigger apartments, they generally do that. They charge you for trash, pest. They put all that on your side anyway, right? The alternative is if you have your AC not working, they know they might get a call. Well, they're paying people to service your problem. Now, they're profitable at the end, but think of that on a smaller scale. An office building might be a little tougher. A warehouse, that's really easy, right? You can turn those into absolute net deals much, much easier than you can on an 8-unit building. Now, depending on the renter you get in there, right? If you're renting to a handyman, you work out a deal with the gentleman and you say, hey, listen, I'd like you to take care of all maintenance. I've seen a lot of people do that. That's another way you can kind of alleviate yourself. But you're going to have to be creative when it comes to raising value, because it also depends on the property. So keep in mind, it depends on the property. But at the same time, don't look at it as you're stuck in this situation and you're looking at something you can't really increase the value. So biggest thing I want you to take away from this is when you're looking to buy a property, don't just look at how much can we raise rents. That should not be the first thing you're asking. I see a lot of people asking that question. So look for other avenues. I hope that was helpful. If you guys have questions on anything, let me know. Reach out to me. I'm glad to help you.